Okay.
Yes.
So now we go to accounting rules and functions. So when I talk about accounting rules, these are rules that are carried out by the accounting department. You know, each organization or each company would have its own accounting department. So what are the rules of accounting department? What are the functions that the accounting department carries out? That means the role of the accountants in the accounting department. So we start with this. They said, here I wrote, there are different roles within an accounting department. So the roles covered 5 areas, which are as follows. The first role is accounts payable. So when we talk about accounts payable, we're talking about our creditors. As a business, we're going to have creditors, that means suppliers, those that supplies to us on credit that we don't pay immediately to. So it is the role of the accounts department to ensure that they are tracked and they are paid as at when due. You understand? They have to pay them. So it is the role of the accounts department to ensure that all our creditors are paid on time. So look at what I wrote. I said, this role is responsible for keeping a check on the money that goes out of the business to pay for bills and expenses. These things that we buy from our suppliers, we have to pay for them. They are bills, they are expenses of the business. So you have to note that in this role, it is important to ensure no costs are incurred for late payments and no interest is incurred. If you fail to pay your cost or your suppliers as at when due, you might need to pay interest on it. And that is an extra cost for the business. So the account department must ensure that the business pays suppliers as at when due, even before the payment is due, so that we don't incur interest, which is an extra cost for us. So that's the first role of accounts department. Is it clear? So that's accounts payable. Your creditors, we have to pay them. So the account departments ensure that we check and pay them as at when due, so that we don't incur more cost through interest from them. So accounts receivable. As we buy from suppliers, we also sell to customers. Yes or no? So for the customers that we sell to, what happens afterwards? We want to ensure that we track them and they pay us as at when due. Do you understand? So look at what I wrote about accounts receivable. This will involve checking that the business has received all the money it is entitled to. That means the accounts department will ensure that all money that is due to be paid to the company has been paid. Note, this includes tracking invoices to make sure they are paid on time. So the accounts department must track those invoices, because invoices are those, it's a document that states the indebtedness of a customer. That, oh, this customer is owing us. So as soon as the customer pays, it doesn't get an invoice, it gets a receipt. Do you understand? You get a receipt for payment. But if you are buying on credit, the supplier will issue you an invoice. You also issue an invoice to your customers, your credit customers, who are your debtors. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that's accounts receivable. The third one, payroll. When we talk about payroll, we're talking about payments to your staff. You have to pay your workers as at when due. And also, through the payroll, you have to pay government tax. So what does the accounts department do? Here I said, payroll. This involves all staff are paid on time, and making sure this role involves that all staff are paid on time and making sure government receives the correct amount of tax. So you have to pay government the correct amount of tax that is due to be paid. If not, you'll be charged for tax evasion. So you have to pay government their tax. You have to pay the correct amount. And also your workers, you have to pay them when due. The fourth one, right there, reporting and financial statements. So here I wrote, this all involves preparing financial reports for internal and external use. This includes budgets and forecasting. So for reporting and financial statements, we're talking about making reports about the financial dealings of the business. Or what's the business, the inflow, the outflow of cash. Because normally you're going to have external auditors. The external auditors comes to check the book based on the records you have and the records on the system with the documents that back them up. That is what we call auditing. So you have the record on the system. Yes. What are the invoice that shows for those figures? That is when auditing is involved. So it is the role of the accounts department to prepare for auditors whenever they come, what they need to check on. They have to check and balance. And also, you have to prepare your financial statement. That is your income statement and your statement of financial position. It is the role of the accounts department, or it's the function of the accounts department to get that done. The income statement is the statement for your profits, the statement that you're going to get your profit from, what comes into the business, your income and your expenses. That's for the income statement. And for the assets and liabilities of the business, it goes to the statement of financial position. When we get there, you understand. So the last one here is checking the accounts. I wrote, this role is responsible for controlling the finances of the business, for example, ensuring that the correct accounting standards are adhered to. It is important to prepare your accounting statement, your financial statement, based on the international accounting standards that I told you before, the IAS. So it is the role of the accounts department to ensure that they adhere strictly to the IAS whenever they are preparing their financial statement. Do you have any question about it? So that's about accounting rules and functions. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay.